Hey everyone, Beardo here. You're watching MINUTIA MINUTE, as per usual. And I just wanted to do a quick video response to Poet Skinny's Batman Hush haul, because Batman Hush has really kind of a special place in my sort of comic book nerdness. When I was a kid, I used to get comic books from a grocery store that was about 30 miles away from my hometown. I lived in a tiny little hometown. We only had a tiny grocery store, so whenever we had to get groceries, we had to drive about 35 miles to get to a decent grocery store. And they had comics, but it was just kind of sporadic, just in with the magazines. You never knew what you were going to get. And I used to get mostly Batman, but I also got some Superman. When I was really young, I used to get Looney Tunes from there. And that was sort of my first real exposure to comic books in an ongoing format. At the same time, I was also, buying, or I shouldn't say buying up, but renting up all of the trades at all the libraries and, reading through tons and tons of back issues in that form, which I was really getting into. And then when I was a freshman, no, I wasn't a freshman, I was sophomore probably in high school, I discovered that the local drugstore right next to my high school carried comic books, and that was incredibly exciting. I didn't know where there was a local comic book shop, so this was just really the only place where I could regularly get comics. And I decided that I was going to collect one title. It was the title that they had most regularly, and it was already my favorite superhero. You know that it's going to be Batman, right? And I just happened to start regularly collecting Batman with issue 608. Which is, of course, part one of the Hush storyline, first full issue illustrated by Jim Lee. What a place to hop on that book. I mean, it's just, even now, like the serendipity of that, my favorite superhero, stayed my favorite superhero for a very good reason. I mean, that was one of the better story arcs of the 2000s for sure, and if not the best. And, I happened to hop on right at the beginning of it, and it was just a wonderful coincidence. And about 4 months after that had started, that drugstore stopped carrying comic books, and that was what motivated me to go find a comic book shop, which happened to be about 40 miles away, and open up a pull list and do the whole comic book thing. And that's what really got me as hardcore into comics as I am now. And so, long story short, Batman Hush has this very special place in my comic book nerddom. And seeing all those comics from Poet Skinny really sort of brought me back and got me thinking about those again. I just got really excited, and I wanted to show off a couple of books of my own from the Hush storyline. So the final issue of Hush was very, very hyped, and they actually put out 3 covers for it. None of them were retail incentive. There may have been retail incentive ones as well, but of the 3 main covers, they were all, you could just go into the shop and pick them up, just as a way of saying thank you. Now, there was the basic cover, which is what Poet Skinny showed. His may actually be the second cover, and you'll see why in just a second, but he didn't show one way or the other, so we're going to assume it's just the base cover. And all it is, Batman, Robin, and Oracle, and they're standing there triumphant. However, the second cover is a trifold version of this cover. So as I said, Poet Skinny may have the trifold, I'm not sure. And it's basically the heroes cover, and you've got Catwoman, Batman, Superman, basically everyone who popped up into the Hush storyline is on this cover. Great sprawling trifold cover by Jim Lee, really, really cool. However, it wasn't the coolest of the trifold covers. As you know, I must do everything from least favorite to most favorite, and the Villains trifold cover is the one that really stole the show for me, and that's this one right here. As you can see, we've got a lot of the heroes right on the front, but it just keeps going and going and going, and the Joker just makes this cover absolutely killer. How cool is that? Really, really nice cover from Jim Lee there. However, it's still not my favorite cover. So those were the first covers that came out for Hush. Of course, it went on to have at least one other printing. And I'm not sure if This is the second printing or the third printing cover, because I don't remember how many printings exactly that it had. But this is actually my favorite cover. I don't buy like all the second printing covers and variants and stuff like that, but this one I just had to have because it's just one of my favorite Batman covers, and the second it came out I just got really jazzed because I thought it was really, really great. And it is this cover right here. I'm actually just going to hold this up so you can see it real nice and close, and it's the Riddler playing chess with all of the Batman heroes and villains. Now, of course, this couldn't be the original cover because it would have given away who the big villain was at the end that was sort of pulling all the strings, but it's a great, great cover nonetheless, and so it was a good way to follow up with a cover like this. I just think it's really, really cool. I love the atmosphere, I love the tone, and then best of all, again, Joker steals the show. This isn't going to show up on the camera, but he's wearing this yellow shirt that says, "I killed Jason Todd, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt," which is quite nice. Anyway, so that's my tiny little Batman 619 Hush haul. I just wanted to share those because those covers are really cool. Poet Skinny, I thought you might find it interesting. So anyway, that's all I got, and everyone have a great afternoon, and tune in again soon because you already know what's coming.